Hello, and welcome back to the Chronic Pain Breakup Podcast. If you're new here, awesome, welcome. I'm your host, Alyssa Wolf, and I gotta tell you, today's episode is one that I have been really excited to share with you. So, recently I put together this really condensed but powerful 3-day online course, and this course really ended up being my most transformative and powerful training yet. So many people signed up for the course, but the feedback that I've gotten from those who attended all 3 days was that this was truly powerful information. Folks who'd been in pain for decades were telling me that, for the first time ever, this finally makes sense, right? This makes so much sense because it explains why they'd been in pain for so long, despite the hundreds of unanswered questions and years of dealing with dismissive doctors and getting all kinds of conflicting explanations. Despite all that, this was finally something that made actual sense. And I actually heard from someone who runs a support group for people with chronic pain, and she said that this information was something that she hadn't heard anywhere else from any other doctor or any other program or internet guru. And what's most amazing to me is that after this course, I've even had people reach out to me and tell me that not only are they finally feeling hope for the first time in a long time, that this gives them actual hope, but also that they actually felt an improvement in their pain. They feel energized, excited, hopeful, and empowered after listening to this 3-day course. So this information was just too good, too important not to make available to more people, right? This isn't just for those who have the time to attend live, right? And so I want to make this available to everyone, right? Regardless of how busy you are and regardless of your financial situation, okay? Like I truly believe that everyone who has chronic pain needs to have access to this information. And so that's why today in this episode, I'm sharing a replay of the first day of this 3-day online course that I taught. Okay, so each of the 3 days of the training was about an hour long each. And so this is just the first day of the 3-day training. Okay, so you can consider this episode as your exclusive all access pass to the first day of this phenomenal 3-day course. And if you like what you hear today and you want to hear the rest of this 3-day course, the good news is I'm going to make those trainings available to you for free as well. So after you give this episode a listen, or quite honestly, you could just pause this and do this right now if you want, you can simply head over to my website and sign up to get access to the rest of the course, okay? You don't need to pay anything to get access, but I will leave a link in the description where you can get access to the entire 3-day online course, okay? So without further ado, let's get started and get right into what could potentially be a defining turning point in your life. So welcome to day 1 of my 3-day course, Break Through Chronic Pain, Demystify Pain, and Unlock Answers You Deserve. Enjoy. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining me here today. Thanks for joining me live. If you're here with me live, if you're watching the recording, hello, and thank you for watching the recording. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to depending on wherever you are in the world. And I can already tell that we are going to have such a beautiful group of people here with me today. To those of you who are joining me, it looks like we have Alice and Nico, April, Bill, Jamie, Jeremy, Jess, Tika, hopefully I said that right. Kimberly, Laura, Rachel, Rhonda, Sally. Hi, Sally. Tiffany, Vipul, hopefully I said that right. Wendy, hello, everybody. And to the other, we had 223 people register for this course. So I'm sure more people will be joining and will be watching on the replay. So those of you who are here today, welcome. You guys are the ones who decided to step out of your comfort zone to be here today. And so if you are here today, I want to honor you because you are someone who takes time out of their busy day because they want to become a better version of themselves. Yes? So drop in the chat, type yes if you are here to learn and are excited to learn some life-changing information that's going to help you get unstuck in your pain care journey so that you can start using your body the way that you need to and the way that you want to and the way that you were meant to. Yes? I'm seeing some yeses. We are going to be spending the next 3 days, today and the next 2 days together, going super deep into chronic pain. So some of what you learn here may be old news to you, but don't worry, because in the next couple of days, we're going to take your current knowledge and go a lot deeper. Now, I know that there are a lot of you here who are excited to learn more about this other side of the pain problem that's, quite frankly, being neglected by the healthcare system and all of those internet gurus these days. So it's not just about getting the information. What I want is you to get the knowledge and understanding of what your next best step is and an action plan to move forward. So who here is ready for a plan? Yes? Because I don't know if you've realized this or not yet, but there is this gaping hole in the healthcare system right now. You guys see this? Tell me, how many of you are in this weird gray area where you're just waiting, not knowing what else you can do? You're kind of in this holding pattern. Yeah? Yeah. Up here today. The reason I showed up here today, the reason I'm teaching this course, is because I knew that I could fill that gap. Because guess what, friends? There is so much that you can do while you wait. And I'm here to let you know that you don't just have to sit and wait. It's about showing you what you can actually start doing moving forward to support your pain, regardless of where you're at in your pain care journey right now. So why are we waiting to actually start digging deeper when there is more that we can be doing while we wait? And this is a change that, I hope to eventually I hope to see it in the chronic pain world long before I leave this world. And it's also why I do what I do, right? It's why I preach and preach and preach and give away so much free content solely for the purpose for you guys to know that there are other options. If you're not getting the care that you deserve, you do not just have to suffer through it and wait. There are other options for you. And if that's all you learn this week, then I've done my job, right? So I'm going to cover a lot in the next 3 days. It can feel a little bit like drinking from a fire hose. And I really try hard to jam as much as I can and as much information as I can into this course in the next 3 days. And it may feel a little bit like drinking from a water hose. And so you can always go back and watch the replays. Okay. So over the next few days, we're going to be hopefully getting you back some hope. We're going to get you some confidence back. You're going to start feeling good walking forward in your pain care journey. You're going to start to feel that shift from feeling like you have no idea what's going on and what's controlling your pain, what to do about your pain, to actually feeling confident in your pain care journey. I keep seeing the same question. It should be about an hour per day. Okay. Right. So right now, maybe you feel lost. Maybe you feel overwhelmed or frustrated, discouraged. Maybe you feel defeated or unsure or angry, right? Does any of that sound familiar to you? And of course you do, because this world is not easy to navigate with chronic pain. The world has not been kind to you. And the best way forward is to have a plan. And even sometimes taking that step forward can feel scary, especially if you've been misled and been broken and beaten down more than a few times. But it's necessary because we can't keep doing the same things and expect a different result. But the beautiful part about you being here right now is that you don't need to do it alone anymore. Okay. I hear you when you say, I'm not sure if this will work for me, or if you feel like you've already done everything. But trust me when I say you can always go deeper, because there is more than Google. There is more going on than what your doctors are telling you. There's actual science, evidence, and clinical experience wrapped up into this beautiful package to bring you a step-by-step solution and offer you the guidance and support that you are so desperately searching for right now. And so before we get started, I want you to know something about me, okay? My mission is much bigger than me. I want to transform lives, okay? God gave me gifts. He made me innovative, and pragmatic. He made me super passionate about this one thing, which is chronic pain.
He blessed me with specific experiences, knowledge, and passion. He put certain people into my path, certain friends and mentors, and certain patients and clients. And here's the thing. I know you guys have been to so many of these salesy webinars, these promotional trainings that don't tell you anything of value, and they just pitch you to buy their program or their weight loss plan or their expensive supplements or the next fad, right? Meditations, journal prompts, vagus nerve drills. And I want you to know that this is not what you're going to get here today and the next 3 days, okay? I am unwilling to let you leave here this week without some new knowledge or without making some kind of change, okay? All right, so today I'm going to tell you about the hidden underlying cause of stubborn pain and what is actually going on in your body that's causing all this pain, and some of the other unpleasant symptoms that you may be experiencing, like lack of sleep, gut disturbances, fatigue, and the super tight muscles, right? And it's not necessarily what you might think. So I'm going to share with you the science behind pain, like how pain works in the human body on a neurobiological level, okay? And I can almost guarantee that you're going to learn more today and tomorrow and Wednesday than you ever have from any of your doctors, from any other program, from any other book or app or blog post, Instagram guru, Facebook group, TikTok, or YouTube video, okay? That there is so much woo-woo BS out there, so much pseudoscience, so much junk out there that's wasting your time and your money and your energy, distracting you from the real science. And I actually can't stand it. I can't stand the amount of crap that's getting circulated these days, both online and in our medical practices when it comes to chronic pain. Y'all are getting so misled. You're getting given so much conflicting information, and some of the stuff that's coming out, you know, they can make it seem really legit. They can make it sound like it's super sciencey. They can use flashy terminology and words, but to someone who doesn't have a background in anatomy, in human biology, in physiology, and neuroscience, it's easy to sort of like drink the Kool-Aid and believe some of the BS crap that you hear. Then you end up going down these rabbit holes in the wrong direction again and again. So here today and this week, my aim is just to cut through the BS, pseudoscience, and psychobabble and tell you about the science of what's actually going on in your body below the surface, beyond what really just meets the eye. And why is that important? Well, has anyone ever had the check engine light on in their car? You have to know what kind of problem you're dealing with, right? If you need a spark plug, but you've been trying to change the oil, that's never going to fix the issue, right? Root of the problem so that you can actually fix the problem. You need to know why you hurt before you can heal. And once you know that, you'll be more informed about what's really necessary to solve the problem. With you some of the pieces that are missing from your pain care plan right now, and that are going to help you to address one of the main hidden underlying causes that is no doubt in my mind contributing to your stubborn pain. All right. Okay. I'm not just going to blow some smoke up your ass and talk to you or talk at you for an hour without actually saying anything except for asking you to pay me money. That's not why we're here today. That's not the kind of training that we're here for. Even if you aren't in a place right now where you're interested in spending another dime on this problem, even if you never become a client of mine, I am here today to pour into you. I want to leave you here today and this week better than the way I found you. I want to invest in you guys before I ever ask you to invest in me. Okay, so regardless of if you ever pay me or not, I am here to serve you on the highest level possible, because this is not about me. This is not about me making a sale, right? This is about you and dislodging this thing that is in the way of you being authentically you. Because you are meant for something more. So this is about you. And I have to honor you today for being here and for knowing that that it's your responsibility to learn and develop the knowledge and skills and strategies that you need to tackle this pain problem head on. Because let's be honest, while you're here to find out about how to relieve your pain, this isn't about the pain. This is about your quality of life. This is about your family. This is about your kids, your spouse, your employees, your employer, the people you serve. You need to tackle this pain problem so you can be good at what you do. So you can be a better wife, a better parent, a better leader, a better friend, a sister, a boss, employee, leader, right? All of those things so that you can become the best version of you. And in order to do that, you need to be able to use your body to do what you were meant to do on this planet. And you were meant for more. And so that's what matters to me. You, right? The person on the other end of the screen, you matter. You matter to someone, right? You matter to me, you matter to God. And speaking of God, I believe that everyone has a purpose. Okay, I believe that I was called to try to change the world of chronic pain. I started my career off as a physical therapist, and I saw that there was this group of patients who didn't get better by doing all of the right things, right? And I'd get these new patients coming in who'd been through like 5 years, 10, 15 years already of pain. And they've done physical therapy like 17 rounds before. They've done 17 rounds of physical therapy before. And what was I going to do? What was I going to show them that was going to be any different than the things that they've done before? Because the reality was there was no new creative stretch or exercise or manual technique, taping, rolling, scraping, needling, or any other modality that was going to be the magic fix that they needed. Can y'all see that? I see this all, like I see all these ads and gurus kind of promoting this like new way to stretch, right? It's always like, oh, if you have low back pain, do this stretch and it will cure your back pain of 16 years. Even though the 300 stretches that you've done before have never worked. Like, right? Like I hope you can see that, right? And then there's these gurus promoting perfect posture and strengthening your core. Like, how many of you have been told that you need to work on your posture or that your core is weak? You didn't develop chronic pain because you weren't doing core exercises or you weren't working on your posture. There is this false narrative that says that as humans, our bodies were meant to only exist in perfect upright alignment with our chins tucked, our shoulders back, tummies tucked in, and our glutes activated. And anything outside of that perfect posture is bad and dangerous and unsafe. Do you guys realize how ridiculous that sounds? And some of you listening today were made to believe that your spine or your joints are so delicate and fragile or broken that it's susceptible to damage if you don't activate your core before you move. Believe that as humans, God made our bodies so fragile that you should have to think about turning on your core every time you move. Okay? No. Our bodies were made to move. They were made for fluid motion and variability of motion. And I know that all the folks in the room with EDS or any form of instability are cringing when they hear me say that, but this applies to you as well. You were also made to move. This idea that you are just weak and that bad posture is unsafe is a lie. And all it's doing is teaching you that movement is not safe, right? And so going back to my story, there I was as a new physical therapist, and I thought that there was nothing new that I was going to show my patients with chronic pain. And I was seeing this same pattern over and over again where, some patients were basically being chewed up and spit out by the healthcare system. They were basically being passed around from doctor to doctor and specialist to specialist, never getting any real answers, never finding any real solutions, never being taken seriously, being told that they needed to lose weight or exercise more, even when they can barely get out of bed some days or take a shower, or that their pain was all in their head, that they needed to stress less, that they needed to handle their anxiety. Okay. I'm talking about. because you've had to deal with that kind of disrespect and disappointment from the healthcare system. Yes? Where I saw all this happening. And so I decided that I wanted to be the safe place for people with chronic pain to land. So to me, getting board certified in orthopedics wasn't good enough. I specialized in chronic pain, dedicated my career to learning everything I could about chronic pain. I started my first chronic pain program for the US Army in 2015. And since then, I've started multiple pain programs across the US. I've taught doctoral students courses on chronic pain. I've worked both one-on-one with clients and in groups. I've been creating and improving, teaching and implementing this stuff for years. So I've learned kind of the hard way from this side of things, what works and doesn't work. I've taken what I've learned from the research, from clinical trials, and brought it into the real world, implementing what I had never seen done before anywhere else in the clinic. And I had to figure it all out, figure out how to make this work in real life, outside of that kind of controlled and really restrictive research setting. And I've been refining this method over the years, always seeking to make it better, because no one ever teaches this stuff. But honestly, I thank God every day that He blessed me with this unique passion and these unique experiences of being able to develop and refine these multiple pain programs over the years, because in sticking with this, I've been able to see so many lives transformed by showing people that there really was something more to their pain, a hidden underlying cause, a contributor that was making their pain and worse and turning up the volume of their pain, making whatever they were going through 10 times worse, 20 times worse, more intense. To you about here today, I want you to realize, that there's more to your pain than what you've been told or led to believe. The missing piece that no one is talking about is the nervous system. Now, before we go any further, I want you to right now set aside any ideas of what you might think that might mean. Because what happens is, because there's so much BS out there when it comes to chronic pain, people come into this with their own false beliefs about what the nervous system is and what they think nervous system retraining is. So the first thing that you need to know about me is that I have, and I always will, value evidence-based care and science and data. And so if you're anything like me, you aren't really that interested in the woo-woo practices or becoming some sort of mind-body self-healer. Am I right? If you're anything like me, you want to know what are the practical science-backed strategies that you can do to have a long-term impact on your pain. You're not here to learn more about meditation, mindfulness, relaxation drills, or journal prompts. And if you are, I'm sorry, because you've come to the wrong training, and that's okay. If you want to leave right now, that's okay. But how many of you have, heard about or tried some of these mind-body methods, like regulating your stress responses, attempting to get yourself out of a state of fight or flight, or digging up repressed emotions, or processing or reprocessing your past traumas, doing somatic tracking, or journaling, or even sending yourself safety messages, telling yourself that you're not in pain or that you're not injured, or trying to convince yourself that it's not real, all of that, essentially gaslighting yourself. Can I ask, how is all of that going for you, really? Like, do you feel better? Right? You feel like you can manage your stress better, but how's your pain? Your pain. Those types of mind-body methods are great for helping you handle your reaction to the pain. I said that you can't control your first thought, but you can control your second thought. If pain is the first thought, you can control how you react to the pain. So you could react to pain with a lot of fear. You can stress yourself out, thinking, holy shit, I'm dying. And that can escalate the pain. Absolutely. But if you sort of, handle your stress responses, you control your thoughts, then you can sort of keep the pain from escalating further. Methods like mindfulness and breathing and somatic drills, sending yourself messages of safety, like they can really help to keep your anxiety in check. And that's really helpful for many people. But those mind-body methods don't address the initial trigger of the pain. They address your response to the pain, not the actual pain. Methods fall short. The ones that you'll learn from those who follow the work of John Sarno, AKA most of the internet gurus. And I wasn't going to call them out, but we have Alan Gordon, Dan Buglio, Nicole Sachs, if you've heard of them. Their methods fall short because the pain problem exists outside of your conscious awareness. They're helping you manage your stress responses, your fight or flight responses. But that fight or flight response is just a symptom. So you can try like hell to get yourself into a more restful and restorative state, but your body, specifically your nervous system, is going to keep pulling you into a state of fight or flight because there's another underlying cause going on, another underlying issue going on. Something is telling your body to stay in that hypervigilant survival mode, fight or flight state. Yes, you are in a fight or flight state, but trying to think or breathe or meditate your way out of it is just managing the symptom. We need to go one step deeper and address the deeper cause. Yes? Makes sense? Out of pain because this problem exists outside of the cognitive parts of your brain, in the more primitive parts of your nervous system, not just in your brain, but your entire nervous system, before pain even reaches your conscious awareness. Anyone ever heard of the vagus nerve? Anyone ever heard of polyvagal theory? Okay. So the vagus nerve, that's VAGUS, is a nerve that plays a huge role in coordinating our rest and digest functions, right? And polyvagal theory says that essentially either something is wrong with the vagus nerve, like it's damaged, it's injured, inflamed, whatever, and we just need to activate it or kickstart our rest and digest functions. Some of the ways that they'll have you do this is by putting a toothbrush in your ear, putting your finger in your belly button, placing the tongue on the roof of your mouth in a certain position, okay? The most ridiculous sounding drills, they're totally BS, okay? You're not going to activate the vagus nerve by doing these silly drills. And also, even if you could, the problem is the vagus nerve isn't the thing that has the control. The vagus nerve isn't making the decisions. Unless you straight up have an injury directly to your vagus nerve, which would be pretty near impossible to happen in an isolated event, your vagus nerve is not the problem. So don't waste your time with those silly drills and practices, because the only way that you can actually shift your physiology and influence change in your autonomic nervous system is by controlling your breathing. So slowing down your breathing can help you shift your physiology from a state of fight or flight and into rest and digest. Those silly vagus nerve drills are basically like me telling you, like, if you pat your head and rub your belly at the same time, you'll relieve your pain. It's pseudoscience. So chronic pain isn't a thinking problem or a problem of repressed emotions, and it's not that you're just weak with bad joints. The nervous system, okay? We now know through some pretty groundbreaking neuroscience research that there are hidden changes in the nervous system, in nervous system activity, that essentially amplifies the volume of pain. By addressing this deeper hidden part of the pain problem, patients, I've seen it, patients who've been told that there was nothing else that they could do but learn to live with it, people who've tried it all actually saw improvements in their pain. So who here is ready for some neuroscience? Who here is ready, has their pen and notepad ready to take notes and is super excited to learn and is excited because they're just tired of sifting through the information overload online, unsure what to believe with all the pseudoscience and psychobabble and woo-woo practices and scams and fads and gimmicks, all promising relief. Yes, they're all promising relief. One who can cure chronic pain 100% is God. And anyone or anything who claims that they can cure pain, that should be a big red flag to you, my friend. Stretching, surgery, and losing weight is not enough. Relying on medications or injections with nasty side effects that destroy your insides and only mask the symptom of pain is not enough. Attempting to control your stress responses or think your way out of pain is not enough. An old injury or an autoimmune condition, arthritis, degenerative changes, or you're still waiting to get a diagnosis, or you've been given confusing or conflicting explanations for why you hurt, whether you have fibromyalgia, CRPS, EDS, RA, MS, or any other mysterious pain condition, I can tell you right now that your pain is real. There is 100% a scientific explanation for why you hurt. And this stuff right here that we're going to be talking about today does apply to you. This applies to you regardless of where your pain is or how it started. Whether you have a significant injury, you're bone on bone, right? Or the doctors say that all your tests are just within normal limits and they can't find anything else that really points to or explains why you have all the pain. If you've been to handfuls of doctors and you've tried everything from supplements, diets, fads, exercise plans for activating your core and perfecting your posture, to craniosacral therapy, lasers, dry needling, and infrared saunas, especially if you've spent thousands and you feel like you're at the end of your rope, and even if you're decades into pain, this applies to you because even then, you can start seeing changes in your nervous system. Missing in your pain care, you're right. And the key here is we need to look at the pain problem as a whole. So yes, there is 100% a physical element to pain. Yes, there is a mind-body element to pain, but there is also a nervous system element to pain. Chronic pain is a pain intensity problem involving your nervous system. So sometimes we get so caught up in these physical aspects of pain, but we quickly can hit these dead ends with these approaches. Has anyone ever reached a plateau in their care with their physical therapy? Type 1 in the chat if that's you. Fix your pain completely. After, fix your alignment and then suddenly you're pain-free. Is hyper-focused on the physical, mechanical, and structural aspects of the pain. And when we focus too much on this bubble, we'll continuously hit dead ends. Hear folks tell you that pain is purely a mind-body issue. Anyone ever heard of that sort of thing before? Oh, you're in pain because your repressed emotions. Oh, you're in pain because of past trauma. Oh, you're in pain because you're catastrophizing. Does that sound familiar to anyone? Claims that if you have any doubt that your pain isn't purely a mind-body issue, then that's why you're not getting better. You're not getting better because you have doubt. That you can't have any doubt that your pain is mind-body, but you still have doubt, then you probably shouldn't be following them. And it's not all in your head. When we try to fit pain solely into this bubble, making it an isolated mind-body issue, guess what that does? That only adds to the stigma that chronic pain is all in your head. It implies that this somehow is your fault. That if you could just handle your stress or handle your anxiety, you'd be better. Isn't that how that feels? makes you feel like a failure. When we hyper-focus on this mind-body element of pain, again, pain relief falls short. Pain is both physical and mind-body, and it involves a third element, the nervous system. Chronic pain involves the nervous system. If you have stubborn pain and you have a nervous system, your pain is in part a nervous system issue, right? Recent research has demonstrated that the nervous system is one of the main hidden underlying contributors to stubborn pain. It's kind of like that nervous system ramps up its defense mechanisms. It changes its physiology, turning up the volume of pain. Your nervous system can become this highly sensitive alarm system that's constantly on high alert, amplifying every sensation that you feel, that you experience, that your body detects, and turns up the volume on it, turns up the volume on your pain. There are hidden changes that happen in the activity of your nervous system, things that we can't see with testing like nerve conduction tests, x-rays, MRIs, ultrasounds, or blood tests. And you can have mechanical stress or pressure or a mechanical injury to a nerve. And that's the kind of thing that your neurologists are looking for, right? Is there a nerve trapped in some scar tissue? Is the disc putting pressure on the nerve root? Is there a neuroma in there? Is the nerve overstretched or cut or damaged in some way? Those are the things that would fall under that physical, structural, and mechanical element of pain, because it involves mechanical pressure on the nerve or physical injury to the nerve, right? But when you hear me talking about the nervous system elements of pain, what I mean by that is we're actually talking about the activity in the nervous system, like how those nerves are communicating, the receptors, how reactive the nerves are, the electrical activity in those nerves, the synapses, the neurotransmitters. Those kinds of things all play a role in our pain. And so what you really need to understand, and what I need you to understand today, is that there are changes that happen in the nervous system, all parts of the nervous system, not just the brain, but in the brain, spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, like your sciatic nerve, for example. Changes where it's essentially as if the nervous system shifts its physiology to get better at detecting sensory information, sending danger messages, amplifying those danger messages, overreacting to danger messages, and allowing pain to take a stronghold in your nervous system through hardwired pain pathways. Tomorrow, I'm going to tell you in really great detail about 3 of the biggest changes in the nervous system that you need to know about. Because again, you need to know why you hurt before you can heal. You need to understand the nature of the problem you're dealing with so you can respond appropriately. And then on day 3, I'm going to go over how to solve this part of the pain problem by revealing the missing pieces of the pain care puzzle that you really need to start doing to get yourself lasting relief. Here, feel a little skeptical or unsure if their nervous system is really contributing to their pain problem. Let me know. Just type me in the chat if you're a little unsure. And it's okay if you are, if you can be honest. Approach to nervous system regulation, breathing. No, sorry, Wendy. We'll be talking more about that. No, we're not just doing breathing. Breathing is like basic, step 1. Yeah, so if you're a little skeptical, because, you know, I talk to a lot of people. I talk to hundreds of women and men, and I'll tell you the funny thing is, there's always this underlying skepticism that this doesn't apply to me. Like, I don't really have a nervous system problem. So the folks who have arthritis or degenerative disease, disc disease, you know, they have the old injuries, current injuries, those folks will say, oh, this doesn't apply to me. This seems like it's more for the folks with like fibromyalgia or the pain that's all in their head. And then what's funny is the folks with fibromyalgia will say, you know, I'm not sure if this applies to me because it seems like this is more for the folks with like the real injuries. And then the folks with the autoimmune conditions or the EDS or the CRPS, they'll say, yeah, but this doesn't really apply to me because I have this unique thing going on. My pain is different. So regardless of what your pain is, where it is, how it started, the severity of it, the nervous system can ramp up the volume of pain. It can take normal sensory information like light touch or pressure and turn it into pain. It can take danger messages like when you have an injury or inflammation or an irritated muscle or joint or ligament or tendon or wear and tear or pressure, and just amplify the experience of pain to a disproportionate level, making the problem seem 20 times worse than it really is. Sure, that physical part of the problem is still part of the problem, but it may not be as big of a physical issue as it actually feels. Of, is my pain all in my head, all in my body, or all in my nervous system? Because it is always all three. It is always a balance of all three. You cannot have pain, a pain experience, unless you have all three. You cannot have a pain experience unless you have all three. For the one thing causing our pain, we need to stop looking at pain like it's a black or white problem, okay? Pain is not purely physical. It's never purely mind-body, and it's never all nervous system. You have all three pieces going on to varying degrees, okay? And some people are more in one bubble than other people. And on any given day, the bubble that you're in can shift. Some pain days may be more due to the physical elements. Some pain days you might be having more of a mind-body day. Some pain days you might be having more of a nervous system day. Does that make sense to you guys? Are you following along? You all a question. I want you to think about why you are here. Why are you here today? What was the one thing you wanted to get out of this today or out of the next couple of days? What was it that you are hoping to walk away with? Why are you here? And think about that. Most of you are here today because you're straddling acceptance and desperation, right? On one hand, you're struggling to accept that this is your new normal because you've been told so many times that there's nothing else you can do. This is your new normal. Learn to live with it. There's this voice in your head saying that you've tried everything else and nothing has worked, so why bother? And gaslit so many times where your pain was minimized and not taken seriously. You've been told that there's nothing wrong with you. You've been given conflicting and confusing reasons as to why you hurt. Nothing makes sense. They blame it on your anxiety. They say it's all in your head, and you're starting to believe it. You're starting to question your own sanity. You're starting to wonder if it is all in your head. Am I just making this up? Am I just exaggerating? You're struggling with this acceptance. But on the other hand, there's this part of you that is still desperate for solutions and desperate for answers. Deep down, you believe that there is really something going on in your body that maybe your doctors missed. Deep down, you have this intuition that's telling you to keep searching because there still is this spot of hope that something will turn up. Someone will just listen to me and someone will make sense of all this for me. That something will come along that will really change my pain for the better, right? You're struggling with acceptance and desperation at the same time. And the reason you showed up here today is because of that intuition, that desperation that is inside of you that tells you you can't settle for this life. You can't keep living like this because this is not living. You can't give up to this course because you wanted to learn something new, learn something about something new and different to make sure that you're doing everything in your power to address this pain from all angles. You wanted to get some clarity around why you're having all this pain, not just the quick fix BS solutions that don't work, that don't have any long-term impacts. You showed up here today because you know that you were meant for more than just existing. You know that you were meant for a purpose that goes beyond just you and living a quality life. But it's also about your family and your friends and your relationships. It's about those around you who you serve, who you influence, who you lead, who you parent, who you love. Core of who you are, that you were meant to do more than just exist. You realize that you have a purpose in this world, even if you don't fully have the perspective yet on what exactly that is. And you joined this course because you're stuck. You don't know. You don't know what else to do. Type yes in the chat if that's true. Because you know that deep down, you were meant for more. And you have this intuition that there is something else out there, that last resort that could help you. You aren't fully ready to step into fully accepting this as your new normal and learning to live with it yet, because you feel like there is a missing piece of the puzzle that you haven't found yet. You know you were meant for more, but you are stuck. And so you join this course hoping to get some answers and find that golden nugget so that it would just all click. You join this course so that you can finally figure out a way to finally create the kind of life that's full of joy and depth and purpose. And that is actually possible for you. You guys feel this in your core? I'm going to be sharing more information, in-depth information about this nervous system side of the pain problem. I'm going to share how to address this part of the pain problem and help you map out a plan for what you can do to literally get yourself unstuck and back to using your body without pain, consuming your thoughts, so that you can finally do the things that you need to be able to do. Some of you here today, you know you need something different. You're tired of just existing. You're ready to make some small changes, and you don't want to wait another minute or 2 days to get answers. And if that is you, I want to offer you an opportunity to have a one-on-one chat with me over the phone, completely free, with me personally, because we truly won't know if this is something that you benefit from until you and I sit down and chat one-on-one. And so that's exactly why I want to offer a free one-on-one call to those of you who showed up here today, because you know you need support and a step-by-step plan to get unstuck and guidance to help implement it. So if that's you and you know you need additional support, go ahead and set up a call with me. I'm dropping a link in the chat, okay? The call is free, and you can set that up just by going to that online scheduler and like popping yourself in there at a time that works for you. On that call, I'm going to assess your situation. I'll be able to provide you with more specific recommendations for how you can improve your pain care approach. Again, there's no obligation to work with me. There is no pressure to sign up for anything. It's just me giving you personalized advice and recommendations. So if there's even the small part of you that's thinking, oh, this sounds interesting, this sounds promising, this makes so much sense, and you want to find out what this looks like for you and how to implement this, get some clarity on your condition, and see what it would be like to work with a chronic pain specialist who can give you a step-by-step plan to finally discover some pain relief, lasting pain relief, go ahead and set up that call. There's no obligation. And also, if you're not quite ready to jump ahead and book a call with me, that's totally okay. Again, you are still going to get a ton of valuable information in the next couple of days. So stick with me and bring your notebooks, take notes. Tomorrow, I'm going to be covering the 3 changes that happen in the nervous system that are wreaking havoc on your body, creating this debilitating, excruciating pain and sending you into this full-blown fight or flight response, making you feel sick and tired all the time. So who here is excited for tomorrow? Who here is joining me tomorrow for day 2? I want to talk about your homework because there's homework. I don't know if I told you guys that. Okay, so here's your homework for today. Today, I talked a lot about how you were meant for more. And some of you have forgotten what it's like to live a life without pain. Lost sight of the dream. Some of you have forgotten how to dream. And I need you to remember. So what I want you to do for your homework is I want you to take a deeper look at what it would look like for you to have less pain. I want you to think about what kind of life it is that you're hopeful for. What do you want to be able to do with less pain? What would life with less pain look like? What experiences would you be able to get back to? Impact your relationships, your spouse or your kids or your social life? How will it impact your work life, your career? Everybody to take this seriously. So comment with your goal, with your dream, with your definition of success. That's about all the time we have for today. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you all more than you know. And this is just the first day. I mean, it's going to be so fun and so informative. So take care. Have a beautiful day. Get your homework in, and I will see you all back here tomorrow. All right, you guys. Bye.
And there we have it, folks. That's the end of the first day of my 3-day course. I trust that hopefully by now you've seen just a glimmer of the transformative power that this course holds, and hopefully it's made you hungry for more. And so if you want to hear about all the science that I teach in day 2, where I reveal the 3 hidden pain amplifiers that you need to know about and know it's not inflammation or stress or anxiety or your diet. And if you want to hear about the comprehensive pain care plan I reveal in day 3, where I'm revealing the step-by-step plan that will show you how you can implement science-backed strategies to unlock lasting pain relief, all you got to do is sign up using the link in the description below. Now, let me be frank with you. The reason I'm asking you to sign up to get access to the rest of this course, instead of just posting all 3 sessions, all 3 replays as podcast episodes, is because it's about accountability. You see, one of the harsh truths I've discovered in my experience with coaching people is that without a certain level of commitment, people often don't follow through, right? They sign up, they start, and then they never finish. And in doing so, they miss out on truly transformative, life-changing information. And I don't want that for you. And I know that you're not that type of person. If you've made it all the way to this point in this episode, you've spent this much time with me already today, you're not the type of person who doesn't follow through. And so, yes, I want you to be invested in this transformation. I want you to take those extra steps because this information is just too valuable to let it slip away. So take that step, visit my website, just click the link in the description, sign up for the rest of the course. It's free, and you'll get immediate access to the rest of this online course. Commit to your transformation, embrace this journey, and together, let's change your world and your life. Okay? All right, everybody, that's it for today. Until next time, stay driven, stay committed, and remember, you are meant for more.